Hello, my name is Miguel. I work for Platinum Home Design. I am here in Silver Springs, MD, at Grace Miazza's house. I will be doing an ATR test today. The lucky shingle of the day is this guy right here. I noticed he looks a little raised up, so I will be doing this shingle for the day. So in order for me to really be able to find the shingle, I kind of have to figure out where it starts. So in this case, it looks like it starts here. But one thing I wanted you to see right now is this shingle does have wind getting underneath it. As you can tell, there is stuff that is getting underneath it. All right, so in order for me to be able to get to this guy, what I'm gonna end up doing is essentially touching this guy, this guy, this guy, and potentially the one down here, just to be able to get to one guy here. But bring it a little closer. I want you to see the hail damage here. As you can see the granules inside hit. That is hail damage right there. All right, so now I'll be starting off with first breaking the seal of the shingle, which is this one right here. The only way I can do it. I'm keeping it under the 45-degree angle, and as for insurance purpose, you can see I am using an insurance flat bar. See, the issue that I have with these architectural shingles is when you start breaking the seams, these things can easily not get broken and crack under pressure pretty easily. There you go. All right, first seam's broken. Now I can be able to remove them now. I want to start right here. All right, zoom in a little closer. This is what happens when you try to do an ATR test with these old architectural roofs. You would assume that you managed to get the nail in there, but the nail is still popped in there. If you can zoom in, it's still in there. But yet, in order for me to basically get it out, I'm gonna end up having to raise it up a little higher, which might end up damaging the shingle a little bit more. There we go. All right, first nail has been removed. There's another issue with these old architectural shingles. Zoom in closer. As you can see, the architectural is loose. The hole is there, but the nail is still in there. I still have to remove that nail in order for me to be able to really make sure that there's nothing underneath it that could damage it. There we go. Alright, the first layer of nails has been removed. Now I'll be working on the second layer of nails, which should be able to remove the shingle. As you can see, I'm still keeping it under the 45-degree angle. Alright. I believe this should be the last now. Oh no, one more. Alright, so I'm going to have to touch another new shingle just to be able to get to this guy. Oh, that's a shingle. Alright. As you can see, it's lost some granules as me trying to do the attempted repair. There are the hail hits there as well. You can see them here as well. You can see these ones as well. And then you can see some of them here as well. All right, so now I'm going to be putting on the new shingle. I also believe the shingle that is on this roof is a discontinued shingle just by the size of it. They no longer make these shingles. So that is something that I want to insurance to be aware of. This shingle is discontinued. Alright, so my issue is with these insurance flat bars, it's the way they essentially want me to do it. It's unrealistic. I have to put the no in like this. Then I have to still raise it up. I have to still keep it under the 45-degree angle. And then I have to bang it in. And at that point, you would assume that the nail is already fastened in there, but it's not. So zoom in a little closer. As you can see, if I raised it up a little bit, the nail is still popped up in there. So what ends up happening is this ends up being damaged over time, and it can cause a leak here. So by default, I'm gonna have to raise it up a little bit and then bang it in. The problem with that is I can't keep it under the 45-degree angle and ends up forming a crease here. So now this shingle has a higher chance of it flapping around and getting damaged just because I've attempted an ATR test. Now, this cycle has to be repeated for every single one of them. And that's the issue with the 45-degree angle that I have in there. If I keep it at the 45-degree angle, there's a high chance that I could hit this, which will further damage the shingle more. So I'm gonna have to raise it up just a little bit higher than the 45-degree angle, just to be able to hit it in. And it's the only way I can really fasten in the shingles. It needs to grab onto both of them. See, this is what I mean about these old shingle roofs. When they're trying to do an attempted repair test, me raising it up is just damaging more, and it ends up ruining the shingles more. So as you can see, this has been broken. I try my best to keep it under the 45-degree angle, but with the way this roof is, it's just unrealistic. I believe I have to put one here at the end, and then I can go for the upper ones. Unrealistic again, can't keep it under the 45-degree angle. Still have to raise it up, still have to bang it in, still forming a crest. Now the issue I have with the older roofs on these upper parts right here is same situation. Have to keep it under the 45-degree angle. But there used to be a hole right here. Zoom into this hole. As you can see, there is a hole that used to be right here. I can no longer use that hole just because the shingle won't grab onto both of them tight. So by default, I have to make a brand new hole and then bang it in. Same situation. Nail still lifted up, still not fastened in, still have to raise it up higher than the 45-degree angle, still forming a crest here. This has to be repeated for every single one of them. I can no longer use that same hole. And as you can see, zoom in a little closer, you can see the actual crest forming here. It's right there, very lightly, but it is forming. Now imagine when the next storm season comes in, this shingle's gonna start flapping around. All right, I will be finishing the rest of the ATR tests. Now this should be the last nail. Now still raised up. Still have to raise it up. Can't keep it under the 45-degree angle. Ends up damaging more of the shingle of me trying to do these ATRs. Just cannot be done. This roof is not repairable. Now I have to go back and seal all of this extra areas with caulking. The issue I have with that as well is with these old hole nails here, I'm gonna have to put a little bit of more extra caulking there just to make sure that nothing gets inside, just because over time these shingles do lose a lot of granules, and there is a high chance that that old hole that used to be there that I can no longer use has a good chance of water getting inside of it because of the loss of granules. So now all I gotta do is just caulk it, and then we are done with the ATR.